Well, well, well. Good morning, everybody. Almost good afternoon. Christmas time might be over, but it is not over just yet. Andy Nichols here from Two Legs. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello. Hi, Jeff. Everybody's here. Hello, hello. Yeah, Christmas might be over, but the season is still strong. Should have done this off air, but I'm going to do it now because I don't give a crap. I meant to do this before we did the show, but now I'm going to do it now. Christmas might be over, but it's still on here, baby. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. I know that I did with my family and friends, and I'm happy to be here on my last live Sunday show of the year. James Martinez, good morning. Hi, Mom. Absolutely, we're going to get to that. Hi, Brad. Jeff. That was a great year-end recap video. Sure, it was. Thank you very much for watching that. Hi, Rick. Yes, 2025 will be even better. There's the MVP. Good morning, Sunday Live. Louisa. Hello. Hello, hello. Tony. Good morning. There's Joe. We were texting this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks for saying hello to my mom. Susan, good morning. Another new mug for the Sunday show. I don't know if you ever scroll social media and you see these things pop up that you might be interested. Now the trend is all these mugs. Here's another cool mug this week. A McCartney cassettes mug. I had this on the show if you guys saw it the other day. Really cool. So, I don't know if anybody has seen that, but that was a gift from a friend. Thank you. Hello, Nick. Thank you. This was a new acquisition. Jimmy. Good morning, Jimmy. Owen. Well, wonderful Christmas time. Sorry. Have to say it. Got a Hard Day's Night Beatles story and the White Album on vinyl for Christmas. Very cool. Hi, Mike. James Boyce. Good morning. Ralph. Good morning, good morning. So, yes, last night was episode 268, and that was our last episode of the year. 268 episodes, and to think I joined at episode 67, and now we've done 268. Crazy. Long live cassette tapes. That's right, baby. This was a gift from a coworker. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But there's curiously one album missing on it, funnily enough. Absolutely. Owen's here. Oh, and yeah, I got to say, it's got to be Wonderful Christmas Time now. Sorry. It just does. After singing that song live twice, it's Wonderful Christmas Time. And we're blurry. It'll clear up. But yeah, we had a good show yesterday to wrap up the year. There were a couple of other shows that we mentioned that were some of our favorites for the year. And there were a couple left off that I wanted to highlight as well that I thought were good shows for us in 2024 as well. One of these days, as the man sings, it'll unblur. It always takes a hot minute. Earlier in the year of 2024, we did 238, which was a show on All the Best, where we kind of recounted where Paul was at 87 and why that reissue was needed at the time. And that did very well. That did over like 1.5K views. So that was a good show to do as well. I enjoyed that one. 243, a few weeks later, we did a show called Recent Boots, which featured all about the HMC, those HMC, great boots that are out there on the internet. If you use Google, you can find them. Again, not endorsing bootlegs, but they're out there, and that was a good show to do as well. I believe we did that one with the former leg, David, joined us for that show. And then, of course, how could we forget 249? 249 we did with Adrian. We did with Adrian Sinclair, which was the one on McCartney Legacy. He's of the McCartney Legacy. He was on One Hand Clapping in the history of it. And we're still blurry. Come on. Come back out of focus. Slow. There we go. Took a hot minute, but yeah, we're back in focus now. Let me fix this thing here. See, we're live. Doesn't matter. We're just going to flip it. It's better on that side anyway. I don't do hats, folks. So it's Christmas time. I'll embrace it. Louisa, the show on boots was really useful. That's why we did it. Not telling you to go get them, but I took you for an Oasis fan, but the camera says otherwise. Yeah, I like Oasis, but I just like the first album. Steve. Ah, yes, Steve. If we're talking about Steve Hackett, yes. But yes, Louisa, thank you. That's why we do shows like that. You may not hear it in a comment or in an email or a thank you, but, again, I met you in Manchester, and there you were sitting in the middle, waiting for the show to begin. Ha, ha, ha. And you were so thankful about our show. And that's what it is. And I'm glad that show helped you discover more music, because that's why we're all here. We've got a special show lined up for today. As you see to my left here, I've got a stack of McCartney Legacy books. And at 12:30 Eastern Time, we are going to have the first of 4 giveaways of the McCartney Legacy by answering a correct trivia question that is Paul-based. It's not a Beatles question. It's very Paul-centric. So, and I know that 90% of the people watching this show or listening to this show probably have the book. If you don't and you participate, hey, and you win, great, you have a copy. But if you play it and you have a copy of the book and it's your second copy, pay it forward. Pay it forward and give that book to somebody that would love to read it but can't afford it, or just that friend that would maybe you think might like it, which I'm sure they might. So this Sunday and the next 3, these babies will be given away by answering a tough but easy, if you're a diehard Macca fan, trivia question. And it's not going to be a one-word, what's the lyric, what's the next lyric. And this is going to be really, really, you got to know your stuff. All right, so that's coming up in 30 minutes time. So at 12:30, spread the word. If nobody's on or people are coming on late, we're going to do that. I've got a couple of topics to go over today before we get to that as well, but we will. Brad says, I don't know if the Professor of Rock's wonderful music channel, I don't know if he said, if I don't know if you, okay, but he had a super negative take on Wonderful Christmas Time, which I took him to task on. He went too far. Well, he's not worth my time then, because he's no Professor of Rock then if he's hating on Wonderful Christmas Time. For context, in Ireland, you're either an Oasis fan or a Blur fan. Well, there's a guy that I know right down the road who's a huge fan of both. More of Blur. And he's an English lad, too. Well, the new album, which, depending on the crazy social media that you follow, apparently today there were rumors of Paul's new album, which is total bogus, called McCartney 4. If you follow some really, really sketchy fan sites on Facebook, it's rumored that it's coming out. Totally not. Bogus. But it was maybe going to come out in February, called McCartney 4. Total fugazi. Not coming out. Tony, you did an episode on bootlegs in 2021. That's why I bought Return to Pepperland and Pizza and Fairy Tales. Those are good boots to get. The new album, for sure. A new tour. And I was talking to Joe this morning. I would like a Got Back live. Since the Got Back tour is over, I want a Blu-ray, DVD, vinyl, and CD release of that tour. Maybe the best of each site, but that live album has to include Now and Then and Wonderful Christmas Time on it. Maybe. No chance. Exactly. It was totally bogus, Owen. Totally bogus. Susan says, I actually heard the straight No Chaser version of Wonderful Christmas Time on an FM station. It samples Paul original vocal. Is worth checking out. Okay. Jimmy from Sweden. Is the Seattle 76 show the best Wings bootleg from that tour? I also have an old 80s vinyl release of the Copenhagen 76, but that one is an audience recording. I think, for my money, the best recording from the Wings Over America 76 show is the show from the Forum in L.A., which was one of the last dates in America. That one is because there's a soundboard recording of that show, and that I think is the best one. I have recordings of all the shows, but the one from the Forum in L.A., where Jack Nicholson and all them were in attendance, that I think is the best one from that tour. Although having still read the Legacy book, I'm up to basically the tour's over, and now they're mixing and recording the live album. And really interesting. Everybody thinks the tour ended in America, but they continued on, and they did a couple of shows in Zagreb, Soviet Union, and they did a show in Venice for a fundraiser for Venice. Like I don't want to dive too much into the Legacy book because we're gonna do a full episode on it, but really interesting. Then that was a charity show because it was a fundraiser because apparently in 1966 there was a huge flood in Venice, the Great Venetian Flood of 1966, which I learned about in Italy this past year when they showed us the watermarks and where their water went up to. So there's a great picture of Wings on a gondola, taking a gondola ride there. So little things like that. I know that the Wings did a show in Venice, but I didn't know what it was for, and it was a charity show. So things like that were really cool. So I'm up to the mixing and the release of the live album. January of '77 is what I'm up to right now. So hopefully you finish that in another week or two. Jeff says, I thought Wonderful Christmas Time was a Paul McCartney solo song, and the B-side was a Wings song, even though the video shows Wings doing it. Yeah, it is. It is a Paul McCartney solo song. It absolutely is, because it was done all during that McCartney 2 period. But Wings ended up performing it live in '79. Okay. Yeah, it's Macca solo. Absolutely. Reggae is Wings, as we know. It is. So, yeah, wrapping up the year. So that's going to do it for 2024. A couple of other things of note. If you are a fan or you've bought stuff on the You Discover website, go there if you're a Beatles and solo Beatles fan, because right now, through the 6th of January, they have 50% off everything. I mean, great deals right now on You Discover. Half off. I mean, totally half off. That's cool. I've actually just acquired a full complement of every Wings show from 1979 that I'm going to spend the next few days diving through and going through them all. So, which show are you at, James? I'll see if I can hear you. I got to do the same thing from our friend Beatley Tone, who was at the Hammersmith Odeon show for the Campuchia. Okay, go to You Discover. The half off. I got a killer steal on some things this morning, and recently, I just picked up something that flew past my radar, but my partner in crime got it when it came out. I'll show it in a second. I just want to go through the comments here. They only had the Beatles' second album left of the released mono LPs. They're $15, right? So the new, say the new Beatle albums, right, which just came out, the new 6 monos, $29.99 regular before tax. Now slashed in half, but a lot of them were sold out, and I know that Joe messaged me that he missed out on all of them too, but most of them were sold out. But there is plenty of McCartney stuff in stock, and this morning I grabbed, because I didn't have it yet, the blue vinyl Tug of War for $15, regularly $30, $15. That was it. That was great. Hi, Joan. There she is, the #1 fan on the run. Good to see you too. Something coming your way later too. Check your inbox. I'm still working on it, but yes, I am working on it. Good to see you too. Happy New Year. Here she is, the #1 fan on the run, baby. James saw Wings in Newcastle on time on the 14th. Okay. Yeah, this burns my ass a little bit. I just bought all these damn SHMs at full price. Full price. Now, I did not get Thrillington, and I did not get Wings Greatest, because I wasn't paying full price for it. Thrillington, I'm never going to touch. Thrillington, I'll never touch. I have one copy on CD, and that's all I need. But now, the SHMs are now half price. So we got a little burned on that. So, as I mentioned a couple of days ago on my little WhatsApp Liverpool family thread we were talking, which we made when we were over there, on a group text on WhatsApp, which I cannot, I think I like WhatsApp better than texting. You can international, American, whatever. It's a great app. I was late to the punch on this one, because at the time in 2022, I was McCartney 3'd out. Had like 10 copies on vinyl already, so I'm like, I don't need another one. Well, the collector in me got the better of me, and I had to get this one, the 1, 2, 3 box set off, and I got this from You Discover. But again, I got this before the sale. So, which is nice. It's got all 3 in there. And which is nice about it, if you don't have a Parlophone pressing of McCartney 2, you have that in there because it's a UK reproduction with the original black Parlophone label, which is nice. And then of course you get the photo inserts representing each album in there too. So, and where's 3? There he is. There's our guy, aging gracefully. Love it. So no sooner do I buy this thing, get it, and then our friend Boyan says, well, they're half off, and they actually have the colored vinyl version of this 1, 2, 3 box set on UDiscover. So what do? You go on and you get those. So now I have another one coming, but the colored vinyl, which was Tom told me was cream, clear, and something else, like lighter colored vinyl. That was $50 for 3. That was a steal. And this one's going to a certain someone in March, so I will keep it in pristine condition for you. Until then, you know who you are. So I will keep it. I will set it aside. I played them once, but that's it. It's not going to be beat up. I promise. So I grabbed that. So this morning I grabbed that. Buy. Affirm, as we like to say and preach. That's our religion. Hello, partner. You heading into work soon? Or on your way? So yeah, I grabbed Tug of War blue vinyl for $15. And then they had the McCartney 1, 2, 3 CD box set for, I think it was going for $40-something, which was $20. And I got something else, but I can't remember. Tom was saying this morning, he's like, what times we buy these things and then we forget what we had? Hold on. Let's just look at the email and confirm. I got 3 things this morning. Hold on. Yes. Oh, yeah, and the half speed. The half speed of Band on the Run, which I did not get yet. Because I was another one where I'm like, I'm not going to pay $40 for Band on the Run again right now. I'm just not. I'm not going to do that. So the half speed master. Hello, Tom. Somebody asked a question. I'm going to get to Owen's question. Owen just throws out these opinion questions in the middle of my show and then derails the conversation, but we love him anyway. It's okay. It's okay. I like it. I'm not really into covers. If I want to hear Wanderlust, I'm going to listen to Paul do it. Brad, I wish I could have seen Wings live, but I was 10 or 11 during Wings Over America. I've seen Rock Show more times than I can count. Never gets old, man. Never gets old. Jimmy says, man, all this talk about Wings 79 makes me want to have a Back to the Egg archive set now with Glasgow or Kampuchea added on CD and Blu-ray. Well, sadly, as I said on the show last night, the only acknowledgement we have of Back to the Egg is the damn coaster. The coaster. That's all we got. Back to the Egg. It's the only thing we have. Oh, you're already at work. Chop, 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 chop. Hopefully there's some good football to keep you distracted. American football, that is, because, although my dad, who usually chimes in on this chat, is on his way with my brother to go watch the New York Giants play the Indianapolis Colts here in New Jersey, because my brother's a Colts fan. So I was offered a chance to go, but I said no. I'd rather do this. I'd rather do this. Oh, well, okay, that's nice. You won't derail him. No, we love your questions. I love your questions because it gets us talking. You see. Tom sounds like an NSYNC fan. NSYNC, wow, throwing it way back. Susan, that UDiscover half off sale is a wonderful thing. A good opportunity. It is. I even saw We All Stand Together, the 100th anniversary repressing of the Rupert of the We All Stand Together. That was on there for regularly listed at $22, so you can get it for $12. Weirdly, too, that it's out of sale. It's out of stock. They had the White Album Super Deluxe on there listed for $12.98. I think that was a typo. There's no way that the 6 CD Blu-ray was going to be available for $12.98, which was sold out anyway. One thing I did want to get on there but was sold out was the Orange Speed of Sound. I was bummed out. That was sold out. But a quick scan of eBay and Discogs has that on there for between $25 and $30. So now that it's been some time, I kind of want to go back and get a couple of those colored vinyls that were just slammed down our throats years ago, between that and McCartney 3. And I mean, the colored vinyl came out when all the Egypt Station stuff was coming out. And I couldn't catch my breath with the colored vinyl. It's been some years now, and like The Wings Over America colored vinyl, I don't have. I might be inclined to get that in a few months at a good price. The Speed of Sound. The Venus and Mars one I have, which is cool. Yeah. Yeah, well, listen, it's Sunday. People are either asleep or it's tomorrow. Like if you're down under like Boyan, it's tomorrow. So it's fine. I'm going to be here either way. Either way. Just about every Sunday is going to be my thing. And this is not just because it's the holiday time. Like the Sunday fam chat, which you're all here. Russ, nice to see you here today. Hi, Russ. I think your brother's going to be happy. Colts 40, Giants 6. Probably. I couldn't tell you more than 3 players on the New York Giants right now. The running back and the receiver. That's about it. I am just so checked out. Now, when the playoffs start in a week, then I'll be watching. That'll be some good football. That'll be good to watch. But for right now, pure background fodder. Notice the TV's off for that one viewer who it was just so, it was distracting. So for you, it's off. Macca Scruffs are what we are, and what we are is vintage clothes, as the song goes. 5. All right. Wait a minute. So this is Yesterday in Australia? It is. It's Back to the Future. Speaking of that movie, that was on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. I watched that with my mom and dad. Tell me, future boy. Oh, great movie. Looking forward to the Sunday morning. Yeah, especially with football winding down. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to get to that. I see a director's name mentioned for a movie that I saw just the other day. Was it Sunday? Friday. Friday, the MVP and a friend of ours went to go see the brand new biopic, A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic. And I really, really enjoyed it. I listen, it was not factually accurate in spots, but I thought, for a 2-hour film, I thought it was good. I thought parts of it were rushed a little bit, especially just kind of the movie starts with Dylan coming to New Jersey, looking for Woody Guthrie, and then, going to New York and then going back to Jersey, which is just a hop, skip, and a road, right down the road from where I am. So that was cool. But then, all of a sudden, he's gigging, and now he's recording his first album. It kind of was a little bit, but I get it. It's a 2-hour film. They've got to speed things along. Watching the film, also, I was like, wait a minute, why are they calling Susie Rotolo Sylvie? And then I looked later on, Bob requested that the film not use her real name. Because Susie Rotolo, as we know, she's the famous girlfriend of Bob's on the cover of the Freewheeling from 1963. She passed away in 2011, and he asked that her name not be used. So they had to change her name. Because I'm like, wait a minute, her name is Susie, and am I hearing this right? So things like that, the Newport stuff, and again, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet, but some of the Newport stuff at the end, some of the dialogue was that they used there didn't happen at Newport. It happened later on in Bob's career. But I don't want to spoil the movie for ruining it. Absolutely. I think when he sang, trying to imitate Bob talking and speaking is tough, right? He did as good a job as he can speaking. He obviously had the look. He had the 1962 hobo look thing, the long fingernails and the hobo look and the cap. He had all that down perfect. But when he sang, Timothy, I thought it was a complete knockout, dead, just a totally believable. And it's him singing. And it's fantastic. And I have to say, equally as good in this movie. Okay, and I would say he should be nominated for a Best Supporting Actor role, is going to be Ed Norton for the role of Pete Seeger. Killed it. Yes, Mom. Killed it. Absolutely killed it. Ed Norton should really be nominated because he was absolutely flawless as Pete Seeger. I felt myself enjoying those scenes with Seeger as much as any of the scenes with Calumet as Bob. He was fantastic. That's a good point too. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed the film a lot. He's an enigma, Bob Dylan. You think you know him, but you don't really know him. And that's the mystique of Bob, even now at 82, which I'm drawn to that. I love that. People just like to paint you in one box, and he's like, no. He did not. No, he did not marry Joan. So obviously your Bob history, but that he was, he had Susie and Joan kind of going at the same time, and then she left and came back. But Joan was head over heels for Bob for sure. But it was a really good movie, and basically the movie climaxes with the Newport Festival of '65, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but really good film. I would probably go see it again. Ed Norton? I knew somebody was gonna say that. After watching Yep. Yeah, and I'm blessed to have seen him, Bob, in the last 6 years, I've seen Bob Dylan in concert 4 times, and I was late. I know that James isn't a fan, and I was a casual Bob fan for most of my adult life. But then, I don't know, about 6 years ago, I got hit with the bug, and I have not stopped learning and reading everything about Bob that I can get my hands on, collecting everything that I can, as you see. On my top shelf there behind me, I have a lot of the archive, his bootleg series. Yes, there actually was mention. There was one mention of the Fab Four, Jimmy, in it, and in passing. Not it was, but yes, it was. Yeah, just mentioned in passing. That's a great question, and it's a funny name because that is that's my almost my aunt's name. We were talking about this at Christmas. My mother's family's name is Mescal with 2 L's, and I have an aunt, and her name is Paula with an A. So when I see the name Paul Mescal, it's weird. I'm like, we're talking about family there. I think so. I've never heard of the actor. I don't know. The Beatle biopics, I don't know. Gentleman that checked us in at the AMC. So I think I was wearing a Beatles t-shirt or something, or McCartney shirt. Oh no, the MVP was. And the guy goes, "Hey, Paul McCartney, they're making a Beatles biopic?" And we're like, we know. We're like, we just got back from England. He was like, "Oh, okay." Good question. Get on that Ancestry website, Mom. Maybe they left off the L. Who knows? Okay. Gladiator 2. Really? Gotta be. Well, what part of... Owen could tell. Ma, what part of Ireland was Papa's... They were from County Cork, right? If Paul Mescal's from County Cork, Owen, we got to do some chatting off the air. Tony, I saw Bob in 2016. He played very few Dylan songs. Well, the Sinatra stuff is my current Bob wormhole stuff. If I'm listening to Bob recently, it's his Sinatra. All 3 Sinatra albums are absolutely tremendous. Shadows in the Night and Triplicate are my favorite. And I don't want to turn this into the Bob show because we're Paul. But Cork and Claire. Okay. So Owen, find out. James had an epiphany on Bowie. Maybe it will. Mescal is from Maynooth. Where would Maynooth be in relation to Cork or Clare? Brad, has there been a biopic less accurate than the Buddy Holly story? I mean, it was a good movie, but it got so far off Macca to make the Buddy. Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned Buddy Holly. Reading about that in the Legacy book was cool because you learned why Paul wanted to start doing that. And putting the first Buddy Holly week together, and did that for a number of years. I'm not sure when it petered out. I'm sure we'll get to that when I get to that point. But the first ever Buddy Holly week, sponsored by Paul, was happened during this period. So, this looks like Nick's wish list for 2025: Rubber Soul box, Hard Day's Night box, Help box, and I think that's wishful thinking. What we do know. And I agree with Joe saying this thing. He was Joe and I messaging. Ringo's got January locked down in 2 weeks with Look Up, the country album. So that's going to be take care of Ringo for the year. John's probably going to get nothing from John's camp in 2025. So that leaves a second quarter release for a Paul album and a tour maybe. And maybe fourth quarter Beatles. That's my prediction right now. Dad was from Cork, Mom was from Clare. Okay. Yes, I have. It's covered in the Legacy book. So it's a Paul. It's okay. It's okay. But it's not bad. At least, yeah. I think that's a optimistic look at what we can get moving forward. First quarter is going to be Ringo. Second quarter could be Paul with like a new album and a tour announcement. Maybe Half Speed Master of Venus and Mars, like we said in our recap show. Summer tour, fall time. Let's maybe in September you get an announcement for some Beatles product for November, which would be Rubber Soul, which makes sense because we know that the Rubber Soul tracks that are on the 2023 Red album are done. So I think Rubber Soul was probably in the can. Probably was done. It was probably done when the Red album, the Red and Blues were done. So that could be interesting by itself. I don't think you're going to get like a twofer. You're not going to get Help and Rubber Soul and a package deal. The Beatle albums are too precious to do that too. But London Town and Back to the Egg can get that same treatment for sure when that comes out eventually. Until then, I've got to dive through the 17 shows that a friend sent me to soak up as much of that period as we can. And again, thank you, and you know who you are. Yep. As I said it on the show, Susan, they're not dead. They're back on. They are back on. I think the archives are still they're gonna continue. Those Rubber Soul mixes did sound good. Nowhere Man, that was Nowhere Man, Girl, Drive My Car. All those songs sounded tremendous on the Red album. And I listen to the Red album more than I listen to the Blue album these days. And that's just the trend I've been doing anyway. Okay, one order of business I want to get to, because it's 12:23 here on the Eastern Coast. I want to talk about one little thing before we get to the trivia contest and the giveaway. Yes, I did enjoy the material, and I still am. It's on the floor in the other room. Very much so. I think I enjoyed the outtakes better than the remix was okay. I liked being able to hear George's voice a little more clearer on tracks like Be Here Now, and that is all. I absolutely did, but I enjoyed the demos. The demos I enjoyed much more. And of course, his demo of Sail Away Raymond, which I thought was great. With the band. I absolutely did. Did you? Hope so. I hope so. Wonder if they filmed Paul playing with the Stones on Hackney Diamonds. That was the song Cut My Head Off, right? He did bass on, which was cool. Anybody see Mary McCartney's been killing it with Paul's account lately on Instagram. She posted another video of her walking around, capturing everything at the concert. She's a doll. She loves her dad. She's filming him on stage, walking around with his Instagram. I thought that latest one that she posted, or he posted with her phone, with her doing it, was great. And then Paul released his own little 2024 thank you video, which we shared on the Two Legs page yesterday, which was cool too. So he really is. He's ending the year in style. He did a You Gave Me the Answer newsletter where he confirmed that he wants to finish the album in 2025. So, yeah, Be Here Now for sure, Jimmy. I agree with you there. That's the standout. That is the standout track. Okay, so you might see the link on this video. You might see the link on this video, and you might see it's also on our Two Legs page. We are now Patreon members. We are members of Patreon. We signed up for it. It's very basic right now. I'm going to post it right here in the comments so you can see it. Okay. We signed up for Patreon. Okay, it's something that we thought about doing. The show is still free. It's always going to be free. However, I came up with 2 tiers of membership: Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 1 is called 1 leg. Tier 2 is called 3 legs. Couldn't call it 2 legs because that's the name of the show. So I figured we have 2 tiers: $5 a month or $10 a month. Either one you sign up for, you get a free shirt and a button of your choosing. A white one, a black one, which is the home jersey, and the white one, which we call the away jersey, which is one of my personal favorites. I love the white, okay? And a button, which you can get, okay? If you pick any one of those packages, you get a free shirt with it. If you just want the shirt, you can buy the shirt too. What do you get with these subscriptions? Well, for $5 a month, every episode that Tom and I record, you will get sent directly an audio file of it or a video file of it ahead of time. You'll get the link. That'll be edited, and you'll get it, and you'll see it before anybody else sees it on Two Legs if you want to. Okay? That's the $5. The $10 a month is the same thing. You get the content early. And then also, if you want to schedule a Zoom or a FaceTime or a StreamYard link and have a little chat with me or Tom, you can do that too. And we'll talk Macca, Beatles, whatever you like, and be available for that. So that's all. That's very, very basic and bare bones. There's going to be more merch on there. We're going to have 2 Legs mugs on there that the MVP is going to take care of. It's very bare bones, real simple. We've already got one. We have one subscriber already, which was James Martinez. Thank you very much for that, for subbing to that. And we're on there now. So we wanna grow our brand, and getting the 2 Legs name out there and some merch would be a great thing. And if you're at a fest, it'll be free anyway. But we'll give it to you, because we don't if you're there and we see you, we don't charge you. But if you want to buy a 2 Legs mug or a shirt and you want to support us, then you can. You don't have to, but you don't have to. And again, it's always going to be here. The show will always be free, but we are going to up our game a little bit, and we want to make that jump. So if you'll have incentive if you sign up and you do tier 1 or tier 2. You can connect with us. We can talk topics. We can talk Macca, maybe a little insight to 2 Legs, how it works, what we do. If you want to get in on all that and talk to me and Tom, sign right up to tier 1 or tier 2. It's on there. And the shirts are also on there right now too. And a button. You'll get a button too. If you sign up, you'll get a free 2 Legs button, which we have as well. And again, the mugs will be coming in the new year as well. So we just started that too. So thank you for those of you that want to support us on there. And again, you don't have to if you don't want. Yes, please let your shirt size know so the MVP can get it mailed to you. She is. She really is. She is, which is so nice. Mary McCartney's video show that she seems to have heard. Yes, she loves her dad. She loves her dad, and I thought it was so nice. So please do that, okay? More 2 Legs merch for 2025 coming on Patreon, and if you're at the fest, you'll get some stuff there. So it is almost 12:30. So now we're going to have our contest. So I hope you're watching and you are ready to win your the first of 4 copies of the McCartney Legacy Volume 2, 1974 to 1980 with Alan and Adrian. Okay? Now, here's the deal with the question, okay? The question has multi-answers to it, okay? So when you answer, you have to answer it with all of your answers in one comment. You can't just say, the answer is going to require 4 correct answers. So you're going to have to say the answers in one comment as we go through. You can't just plop them in, plop them in, plop them in. First person to get all 4 names in wins the copy of the book. It's as simple as that, as the song goes. Okay? And this is deep, but you should know it. If those of you who are watching know Paul, you know your Paul history, you should know this, okay? And it's a cookie one too, because there's really 7 names for this one, but I only really need 4. Okay, so here we go. Here's the trivia question for the first book giveaway. Paul has worked with many producers over the years on many of his albums, okay? Sometimes he uses multiple producers. In the case of 1989's Flowers in the Dirt, he used a total of 7 producers, not including himself or Elvis Costello, which are also credited as producers, okay? There are 7 producers that Paul worked with on Flowers in the Dirt. Name 4 of them. Name 4 producers that worked with Paul on Flowers in the Dirt. Go. And we're going to sit and wait and watch. There's 7 names. I only want 4. However, you might know this off the top of your head. You might not. And I'll give you time. I'll give you a minute or 2 to think of it. Again, without looking it up, I knew of 3 off the top of my head. I did. So let's see. Let's see who's got what first. First person who gets the answer. You gave me the answer. Did you? Give me the answer. Ooh, nobody's talking, which means they either know it or they're searching it up on their phones. So I can't stop that. Let's see. 7 producers. Ooh. Wait. Brad, I wish you were right, but the last name is wrong. Phil did not work. The album track, the album version, not the bonus. Yeah, and again, not including the musicians. Brad, I'm sorry, so close. Nope. You're right with 3. Hugh was not part of Flowers in the Dirt. Brad, you're so close. If nobody else gets it, we might give it to Brad because he actually is the closest, but we're going to wait and see. So give one away. It's a question bit. Brad, you had it. I thought you had it. But you're the closest one so far. You're the closest one so far. I'm going to give it another minute, and if nobody chimes in, I'm gonna pick a winner, and I'll tell you I'll tell you all the names. And if you didn't search this up, I think I give you a lot of credit. Okay, we got it. So Brad, it is cheating. Brad, I said not including the musicians, so not including Elvis or Paul, even though they're listed as producers. The question was, who are the 7 without counting the musicians? So you can't count Elvis and you can't count Paul. So we have the correct answer, okay, we got 4 of them right here. And so our winner for week 1 of the McCartney Legacy Volume 2 giveaway goes to, drum roll please, like Christmas Vacation, when he plugs lights in, goes to Jeff. Jeff, you are right. Mitchell Fromm, Steve Lipson, David Foster, and Ross Collin. Yes, those are 4 of the 7. Yeah, I know, but Brad, I'm so sorry. I thought you were going to be the one to get it, but I just wanted the producers, not the musicians. So, out of the 7, okay, you named 4 of them. So, that's okay. I did state it, though. I did. Tom Liverani, good afternoon, brother. He of the awesome. He always has the best picture posts on the Paul McCartney fan pages on Facebook. Love his posts on Facebook, the best. Okay, so it's Jeff. All right, so the 7 names that you could have submitted were Mitchell Froom, Neil Dorfsman, Trevor Horn of Yes fame, Owen, I know you know what I'm talking about, who sang on which Yes album from 1980, which is awesome, Drama. Trevor Horn, Steve Lipson, Chris Hughes, Ross Collin, and David Foster. Those are your 7. Those are your 7 producers outside of Paul and Elvis Costello. Now, if you're talking bonus tracks, like on the expanded one from 2017, and you're going to get like all that other stuff on there, you could have put Phil Ramone. But on the original 1989 album, LP, UK, US, same, it was those 7 names. He should relax. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Listen, I love Trevor Horn as a producer and as a member of Yes. So the fact that he worked with Paul, I think there's worlds colliding there. And yes, the Drama album from 1980 is one of Yes's best albums and is a Yes album. It is a tough one, Russ. It is a tough one. Red Rose, well, maybe for next week. Maybe again next week. So, Jeff, do me a favor. Send me an email, okay, either on the Two Legs email or message me on Facebook or email me personally at andynichols@gmail.com or the Two Legs email, and I'll get Volume 1 in the post to you this week. Maybe as early as tomorrow, depending on how soon. So send me an email, either on my personal or Two Legs, and we will get Volume 2 off to you. Jeff, do you have a copy already? Or this is your first copy? Or is this your second and you're going to pay it forward? I realize 90% of everybody watching probably has one already. But, hey, as I said, if you know somebody that would like it, pass it on and pay it forward and bring the great stuff that's in this book to somebody else who doesn't know about it or would love to know about it, because this research needs to be shared, it needs to be celebrated, and it needs to be rewarded because of the work that these 2 fine gentlemen did on it. This is Mark Lewison level stuff for Paul, which is we've waited forever. Oh, it's your first copy. So he didn't have one yet. Win, 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 win. So yeah, listen, if you have a copy and you don't, that's awesome. That's awesome. So yes, send me an email and it'll be sent this week to you. Congratulations. All right. 3 left. 3 left. Yes, she will. Yes, she will. Awesome. Wings last, that's right. December 29th, 1979 was the last ever Wings live gig at the concert for Campuchia. Ollie's here. Hello, Ollie. Hello, Andy and gang. I was wondering if you or anyone knew, are we currently in the longest gap ever between a new McCartney single release? Without checking, I think you mean like between albums? We might be getting close. Getting closer. Let's think about this over the years, okay? Paul is Live came out in 94. Flaming Pie came out in 97. Driving Rain came out in 2001. Hello, Elliot. Good to see you here on Sunday. I'm trying to think. It might be. We went from, let's see. New was in 2013. And then we had Egypt Station in 2018. Now, are you counting just regular albums? Because there's other things in between. You know, there's compilation, like you got Pure McCartney in 2016. You got Kisses on the Bottom in 2012. Are you just counting regular studio albums? Because between 13 and 18 was a pretty big gap. Yeah, it's almost 5 years. So I think we're getting close for sure. McCartney 3 is 4 years old this month already, which I cannot believe. And I like it. I had to give it a break for a little bit. I listened to it a lot in 2020, but I can easily say I think I can now say that I do like it. I like it better than Egypt Station, which I did not at the time, but I think I do like it better than Egypt Station now. Oh, you mean singles? Probably. Oh God, yeah, I think so. I think singles for sure. For sure, so I think this is the biggest gap. We had we had the double A side of Home Tonight in a Hurry, which I thought was fantastic. We did another show earlier this year at the suggestion of our friend Kyle Hand called 2021 and the 21st, where we pick our favorite 21 songs from the 21st century, and a lot of these songs are all in it. But it should be. Suggestions for trivia for next week. Let me know. What do you think? Red Rose Speedway. I wasn't thinking. I wanted to go producers. So maybe next week I do something. But it's always going to be a multi-question answer. It's not going to just be like this is the answer. It's going to be you're going to have a few answers lined up to do it. It's too easy that way. Susan. Paul is on the new version of Do They Know It's Christmas playing bass. I'm not sure. I wouldn't count that. Another new version of Do They Know It's Christmas? Enough. They've done it like 3 times. 25-year anniversary. Then another anniversary. Then another one. Give me the first one. That's it. And give me the extended version where Paul's on the end on the remix. It's all I need for Do They Know It's Christmas. Hi, Lynn. I made it for the end of the day. Oh, absolutely. Christmas tree's still up. Lights are still up. We're going to rock this thing till mid-January like my grandmother used to do. God rest her soul. Sometimes February. I'm not taking anything down at all. Not for a while yet. Best time of the year. Yeah, it's the 4th version. Enough. Jeff, getting back to Trevor Horn. Trevor Horn is, an exceptional musician, and yes, he was in the Buggles. The Buggles had that huge hit and was the first actually video ever on MTV called Video Killed the Radio Star with Jeff Downs, who then, those two guys joined Yes after John Anderson and Rick Wakeman left, and they did the album Drama, which I was just talking about a few minutes ago. And he did one album for them as a singer, and then he really, really then kind of found his groove as a producer there in the 80s. Working and really kind of becoming Frankie Goes to Hollywood's producer and all that stuff. The lyrics to Do They Know It's Christmas have dated badly. Wonderful cause, but stop re-recording. Yeah, enough. Yeah. I know everyone on the. Yeah, I don't know. Could be a guy walking down the road singing this new one. You know. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's some major. I have no idea. I'm with you, Brad. Brad, I'm sorry you didn't win. I feel bad. I feel bad. But next week, buddy. You'll win next week. Absolutely, James. Main canon Yes album. Anybody who says drama is not a Yes album is not. They're not listening. I think You're American, We Are the World is a better song. I always go back and forth with this, and I ask everybody this all the time. You know, what do you think is better? When you're listening to it, you think the other one's better. It really is. You know, if I was listening to We Are the World, say not during Christmas time, I'd say that that's a better song. You know? But now if I hear Do They Know It's Christmas, I'm saying, oh, that's a better song. It's tough. You know, you got Bob on We Are the World, which I don't know how they managed to do that. Quincy figured that out. Quincy Jones, who we lost this year. Too soppy. Fair. The melody and hook of Do They Know It's Christmas, though, is fantastic. I don't know. Disagree with you on that one there, my Irish friend. Elliot recently saw Seal. Was he Kissed by a Rose? With opening act The Buggles at the Beacon Theater. Trevor Horn is still amazing. Do They Know It's Christmas should just be the chorus. It was Sarm East. Certainly was. With my man Phil on the drums. Do. Love that clip of Phil drumming. So I'm saying, like, how do you go back and I can't pick. Tony, which book do you prefer? Legacy Volume 2 or Music is Ideas Volume 2 by Luca? Not a fair question because I like both of them equally because they are both different books. I mean, Luca has a perspective that's just on the songs, which is really interesting, and because he's giving you all the information he can about the songs, who interviews with who might have worked with Paul on the songs, just the songs. The Legacy book is about the songs, but it's also a biography. It's totally different. So if I'm being 100% honest, I probably prefer the Legacy book a little bit more, just because there's so much new information we're pulling out of that. I'm being very honest there. I think I prefer the Legacy book a little bit more, but I think Luca's book is just as important in terms of getting McCartney covered as a solo artist in these songs that we want to read about that we can in 2024. Somebody asked me a question a while back ago about Sam Wiles and having somebody from John Moore's on. I missed that one. I'm sorry. I think I have to go back and find that one. I meant to address that question. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can go back and find that comment. If you're still here, maybe can you ask it again? Something about Sam and I forget. If you're still here, ask me that question again, because I see. Oh yeah, the Off the Ground book as well. Yes. Yeah, Jimmy. That's a great. Yeah, I want to read about what Luca has to say about Mistress and Maid. I'll pick it up and read it. This book here, you have to read the whole through. You have to read the whole thing through. Nick, this is so sad, man. Started watching it. David, can you ask that question again, please? I couldn't go back and find it. I do want to answer it for you, though. Tough watch. Tough watch. I haven't finished it. I'm about 45 minutes into it. And it's sad. It's sad, and it's made by Dremio. I know that David watched it. You know, the OG leg. He watched it. He thought it was good. But from what the reviews I've seen, a lot of Phil's answers are, I can't remember, I don't know, which is sad. I love the fact that his son is embracing his Genesis drumming days. I think that's so cool. But that's a tough watch. I will watch the whole thing, probably in snippets, but to sit through 2 hours and watch that whole thing, that's just sad. You know, and so the new Elton doc is also on my list. I want to watch that too, which just got released a few weeks ago on Disney Plus. Yes, Jimmy, there is. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Yes, Yeah, the guy. This is the gentleman that wrote the book on the Off the Ground. Yes, we will. We'll get to that book as well. We've got to get through a few other books first. The beginning of the year is going to be pretty book author heavy for our shows. But yes, that's a book on Off the Ground. I haven't gotten to it yet. Actually, I don't even have a copy of it yet, to be honest with you. But we will do that. Lynn says I had to stop reading Legacy 1 to read the Mal Evans book, which I got from the library. So, oh, okay. But yes, it's about Off the Ground. And my friend Janet Davis, she read it and gave me her feedback on it, and I use her as a barometer. So I certainly will read it, and we'll like to have him on again. Any McCartney book is a good one. Elliot, do you think an announcement will be made soon on the next 5 super high material Japanese? Well, we talked about that in the recap show last night. The first wave came out, and then a week later, they said, oh, okay, in a few months, here's going to be wave 2. Wave 2 comes out, and there's nothing. So, I don't know. I hope so, because they are really nice. They are really nice. But as I said in the show, I think sonically, the first wave sound a lot more, there's more punch to them. I don't hear too much of a difference in Venus and Mars or Wings Over America or Speed of Sound from the archives. I don't hear much difference. The other ones I hear are sonically much better. Wildlife, Red Rose Speedway, if I have the cans on listening to them, they sound a lot more brighter and punchier. Again, I only skimmed it, but I have to really re-listen to it. But I do love, they pack a lot in here, man. Mini reproduced perfect. These were done. And again, go to the UDiscover website. You can get this for probably less than $20 now. Easy. No Off the Ground book will make me love Off the Ground as a whole. Yeah, you and Tom Hunyadi both. I hope you are correct with the May-June album release. Prefer a summer album to a winter one. I prefer Paul releases around this time of year. I like Paul's stuff around Christmas time. That's why McCartney 3 was so cool. Our old friend Adrian Allen, yeah, he's also got. We haven't had him on in years, but he's written some great books on Paul's and Wings touring as well. Check, we had him on back in the COVID days, my early days when I joined the show. We have to reach out to him again too. Yeah, but we'll see. May, June, we'll have to see. We'll have to see which one it ends up being. Laura, I just woke up. Why are we talking about Trevor Horn? Trevor to me means ZTT propaganda, and close to. We were just talking about his contributions. That's all. When I was in London, I saw the SHMs at 30 quid. I don't think they will. I'm not sure if they will even leave. Well, maybe they will. Maybe they, because of Now and Then, you're saying? Possibly. That would be nice, since Now and Then is going to be nominated. But I don't think they're going to perform. I thought if they were going to perform it, it would have been when Tony and gang went to go see them. If Ringo played with Paul on Now and Then in London, that would have been awesome. Yeah, Off the Ground. I love Off the Ground. I love Off the Ground and Flowers equally. I think they're like, to me, that they're like Rubber Soul and Revolver. You know, in the anthology, George says they could be volumes 1 and volume 2. I feel the same way about Flowers and Off the Ground, volume 1 and volume 2. Yeah, well, in this age of, manufactured crap pop artists, where, they can just spit out anything, and record something on their iPhone and let it be a hit. Who knows? But real musicians are out there and gigging and really doing good stuff out there. They just can't get any exposure. Let me go back here. Susan said Paul had a record store day 12-inch of a song from McCartney 3, but I don't remember the year. It was Women and Wives. Women and Wives got a 12-inch release, which he sang at the sound check in Manchester, which we saw. Hear me, women and wives. Throaty, but good. Let me catch up on some comments here. Yeah. Yes, but we'll get that. So for January, the first show of the year is going to be. So we're going to have 3 authors interviewed for January. Okay, Adrian and Alan Cozen will be the last show of January for a full review of the McCartney Legacy, and that might be a whopper. We don't like to go beyond our 1 hour, hour and a half. That might be a 2-hour show because the notes that we have to go over it are extensive. So that might be a 2-hour show. So that's going to be. We have 3 shows for January. That's going to be one. Show 2 will be John Blaney recapping his book 1973, and show 1, which I'm really excited for, which we're going to record hopefully soon in a couple of days, is going to be with Ken Womack. It's going to be Womack's Wings, where that's the theme we're going to do for show number 1 for 2025. We're going to have Ken on just to catch up with Ken, and we're going to have Ken, because Ken writes so much about Mal, and his work is so Beatles-centric, but we want to hear we want to just catch up with Ken, see what he's up to, and then also just pick his brain on what his favorite wing stuff is. His top 10 wings, his top 20 wings. So that's going to be our first show of the year to do that one with Ken Womack. So hopefully we will record that soon. Okay. Block You Bear. Did you wish you stuck around to London? Yeah, I do. But, we have obligations back home. Wish I could have. I could listen to you and the Macca Legacy guys for hours. Thank you, James. Thank you. We like to think we do our homework and spending time as these things fall off. Damn it. It's just a natural conversation. It's a natural conversation with those guys that just ebbs and flows so well. And they've become 2 really good friends of mine. And I can't wait to meet up with them soon. It's a couple months at the Fest, believe it or not, which will be here before you know it. March 2025 in Jersey City, which we will be there. And stay tuned for some information about that as we get closer. Sure. Maybe Jimmy, just send us an email. Send if you want to ask a question for that show that we record with Sinclair and Cozen, send me an email. Send me an email what you'd like us to ask or bring up, and as I plan the show out, I'll work your questions into it. I'll work your questions into the script and how we prepare that show. So if you'd like to, work them in. If we get 100 questions, I don't know if I can field them all because, we can't do a Peter Jackson show with them where we have them on for 4 hours. I mean, I don't have 4 hours. I don't want to take up anybody's time, but I'd like to. We'll see. 2 Legs is the place to go from Macca Geek Out. Well, that's what we do here. You have a gift, Andy. Thank you. Oh, Nick, that's really nice, man. Thank you. That's really kind. That's really kind. But yeah, I like doing this. I like sharing what we love, and you guys love it too. That's why I do it every Sunday. That's why we're the Sunday fam. We all geek out about the same stuff. But yeah, please say if you want questions to be asked for that show when I put the script together for it, we'll work those questions in, and hopefully you'll all have finished the book by then. And I know some of you guys have. Tony finished the book, he said, in 6 days. What'd you do? You did. Did you read the book 24/7? I mean, my God. You're going to see Ken at the Monmouth Record Club on January 7th. Oh, you mean the online thing? Yes. Okay. Adrian is a good lad, fellow Yorkshire man. Yes, please do. Yeah, please do. You had some dialogue with Adrian. Yeah, the Joe English story is sad, man. I don't want to dive too much into it, but he was just homesick. He was homesick, which was sad. Really sad. And we'll get to all that as we recap. But that's good. Womack first, Blaney second, and then Cozen and Sinclair. Well, that's going to be January shows. And then obviously the Sunday Lives with me here in the Sunday family as well. Elliot, do you think Paul would consider putting out holidays? Interesting. Maybe. It would be nice. I read about 100 pages a day. Wow, that's a lot. I mean, I Again, I'm up to the chapter's called Silver Rain Was Falling Down, so this is the beginning of the London Town Sessions, which I can't wait to read about because that's one of my favorite albums. Very excited for Womack's Wings. Yeah, that's what we're going to call that show, I think. Okay, so Block You Bear, you obviously joined this show late. Okay, I do have 4 copies of Legacy 2, now 3. Yeah, next to Abe and Ringo, Joe English was Paul's best drummer. Agree to disagree because Denny Sywell was pretty damn good too. Yes, there's a giveaway on this show for the next 3 weeks where you can win a copy of this book, and that's why there's 4 copies here. I'm donating. I got these. I bought these, myself. These were not sent to me from the publishers or them. I bought these. I bought these myself, and we're gonna just do a trivia contest every week on this show. Probably I come on at 11:30, 11:45. At 12:30, that's when the trivia question will be. If you get the question right, you win a copy. So you've got 3 more chances there to win a copy if you'd like one. Elliot, Holidays is a Wings album as much as... Yes, I agree with that. I would have liked hearing Paul sing those songs more than Denny, though, to be honest with you. Okay. And McGear too. A lot of great information about McGear. The book starts out with the McGear sessions. Yeah, Susan, I get it. Yes, we talked about that too, buddy. Catch up. Take your little scroll button and go back about 20 minutes. We talked about it. We did. Alan said the Wings lineup 70 was the best musically, and I kind of agree with him. Somebody like Lawrence Juber, who was a classically trained musician, and Steve Holley, who was a hell of a drummer, I think the 70 lineup, even though it was one album, was the best. And I agree with Alan. It's Allan also, by the way, Serge, not E. Sorry, that's just the geek in me. I see Japan Eat at Home as a bonus track on Wingspan. That's right, I forgot about that. Man Who Found God in the Moon. Yeah, that could have been a long lost Wings song. Enjoy that. I enjoy that one a lot. Okay. I love Joe on Must. Yep. Joe is good on it, but maybe Paul should have done it himself. That's an interesting tidbit in the book as well. I saw Paul perform Rave On with the Crickets at a Buddy Holly party in Roseland. Was that one of the Buddy Holly weeks you saw? You saw him do, Elliot? Curious. Russ. Yes, he was. Yeah. Yes, he was homesick. He actually just got married. That's where I'm up to in the book. So, yeah. Probably going to start winding things down here a little bit. Oh, it was Buddy Holly week. Okay. And I'm sweating from the Santa hat being on my head, if I'm being honest. I've been on for about an hour and 10 minutes. So I think I'm going to start winding it down. So that's probably going to do it for this Sunday. 52 people watching right now. Wow. Thank you. Good chat today with you all. We'll be here again next Sunday. Playoff. I think that's the last regular season of football as well. So then the playoffs will start. 3 more chances for the giveaway. So if you've got questions for me or for Two Legs, send us an email at my email or the Two Legs email. Again, we're on Patreon now, okay? Check that out. If you'd like to subscribe and get a little more content with us, you can do that, okay? If you want the shows early, you can sub and do that for $5 a month. We'll kick you every show, a private link, and you can watch it and do that too. 2 tiers, 1 leg and 3 legs. And because we are 2 legs, so we can't do that. So I am wishing all of you a happy new year. Sweating. Wow. Mom, thank you. Brad, go Lions. Yeah. Tom Liverani. Yeah. Wishing everybody out there a happy and a healthy new year. Take care of yourselves. Again, remember, we're just a podcast. We're just here for the music, right? We don't take ourselves too seriously. We love what we do. It's our hobby. It's something we do in the free time. So I can't go back and highlight everybody because you're all here, but you all know who you are because you're here every Sunday with me. It's the Sunday family. So let's keep it the Sunday family. I'll be here, okay? And I hope you all will be too, moving forward, okay? First show of 2025, okay, will be next Sunday. So I'm going to sign off soon. Jeff, make sure you email me, okay? Elliot, everybody, Mom, Jimmy, James Martinez, Nick, James Boyce, David Jackson, Russ, Susan Gagney. I'm going to try to do it now anyway. Tony, Brad, Lynn, Louisa, Brad, Blockubear. I think I got everybody else in there. Ollie Perry, Serge. I'm going to try to do it. Owen as well. Laura, Louisa, Nick, who was also here. I think that's pretty much everybody. The MVP, of course, as well. We got David. Oh, Tom Liverani. I know James is gigging right now. Serge, I mentioned all that. Tony, I think that's everybody as well. So, thank you. Happy New Year. And I will see you all next week. Have a great New Year. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.